So hey friends, this is a small chapter called as a sensory cortex. Sensory cortex and sensory abnormalities is one of the smallest chapter. So we'll study about this detailedly. So sensory cortical areas, as you can see a rough diagram of brain, you can see the central sulcus in between. This area before the central sulcus is called as precentral gyrus. The area after the central sulcus is called as postcentral gyrus. Before the central sulcus, the area is called as precentral gyrus, and after the central sulcus it is called as postcentral gyrus. So you can also see the two main areas of the somatosensory cortex, that is primary somatosensory area as well as the secondary somatosensory area. So in the diagram you can see S1, which means the primary somatosensory area, and S2 means the secondary somatosensory area. So the cortical areas are associated with the somatic sensory information. So if you get a touch or pressure or pain, anything on the superficial surface of your body, all these things will go to your brain. It is like there is a connection between the cortex or the brain to your somatic structures. So the cortical areas are associated with the somatic sensory information. So what is this called as? Somatosensory cortex. In the S1 you can see there are different stimulus, that is in the head, hand, face, tongue. So if you get any disturbance or if you get any effects in these areas, so it will be recognized by the S1 area, that is primary somatosensory area. So there is another area called as Brodmann's area. So Brodmann's area is also called as area number 5. Area number 5 is called as Brodmann's area. It is present in the posterior parietal lobe of the brain. It is the higher somatosensory cortex. It receives input from S1 and S2. You can see from both S1 and S2 the inputs will be received by the Brodmann's area. So if there is any lesion in this Brodmann's area, area number 5, there will be decrease in sensation of our body. So I'll be explaining this page once again. You can see the central sulcus. Before the central sulcus you can see a precentral gyri area. After the central sulcus you can see the postcentral gyri area. There is primary somatosensory area, secondary somatosensory area, and area number 5 called as Brodmann's area, very important area. So the cortical areas are associated with the somatic sensory information called as somatosensory cortex. So in this somatosensory cortex there are two types: primary somatosensory area and secondary somatosensory area. So area number 5 is also called as Brodmann's area, which is present in the posterior parietal lobe. It is the higher somatosensory cortex which receives input from both S1 and S2. If there is any lesion in this area, you can see there is decrease in sensation in our body. So the first one is S1 area, primary somatosensory area. Primary somatosensory area is also called as area number 312. So the primary somatosensory area is present on the parietal lobe of the posterior bank of the brain. So it is located on the parietal lobe on the posterior bank of the brain, floor of the central sulcus. So these primary somatosensory area have an input and have a output. So in the input, it is receiving input from the thalamic and cortical areas, from where in the VPL nucleus, S2 area and brainstem nucleus. These three are the areas from which the primary somatosensory area is receiving the input. VPL nucleus, S2 area and brainstem nucleus. You know the brainstem, midbrain, then medulla oblongata and pons. So these are the region of the brainstem. Output, they receive the output from the thalamic and cortical areas. Both are same, but there are some extra things added here. So VPL nucleus, ventroposterior and lateral nucleus of the thalamus, S2 area, secondary somatosensory area, area number 5, Brodmann's area, area number 4 and 6. Remember 4, 5, 6, 3 areas also there, and some supplementary sensory areas present across it. So this is about the primary somatosensory area, the input and output. So now we'll see the sub-regions of the primary somatosensory area. So in the primary somatosensory area, they have three main regions. So in primary somatosensory area, based upon the specificity. So what is specificity? Whether they respond to cutaneous or deep stimuli, whether they respond to cutaneous, which is on the skin superficial surface, or deep in the sense from muscle stimuli, from inside visceral structures. So it is dependent upon the specificity. It is classified into three types. Area number 312, you know the area, sensory cortex number 312. In the 3, it is further divided into 3A, 3B region, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 3 has 3A region and 3B region. Specificity, whether they respond to cutaneous from the skin or deep, that is from the muscle stimuli. So area number 3A as well as 2, 3A and 2 are giving response to deep stimulus. Area number 1 is giving response to both deep and cutaneous stimulus, whereas area number 3B is giving response to cutaneous stimulus. You have to remember these three. So then we'll study about the homunculus. So what is basically a homunculus? It's not an important question in the side of exam side, but still it's better if you know this. So the topographic representation of the primary somatosensory area, that is S1, is called as homunculus. So the topographic representation of the primary somatosensory area, that is area number S1, is called as homunculus. We'll further move on the functions of the primary somatosensory area. So primary somatosensory area is the one which is involved in the initial processing of the somatosensory input. It is mainly involved in the initial processing of the somatosensory input. It is mainly depending upon the input as well as output. You know the input, ventroposteriolateral nucleus, primary, secondary somatosensory area, and many more. So higher sensory orders, it also helps in sensing the higher sensory orders. So as I have said, there are three areas: 3A, 3B, 1, 2. Area number 3, 1, 2. So in 3 there is 3A and 3B. So 3A is mainly receiving information from the thalamus. Proprioception. You know the definition of proprioception. So basically proprioception is being like ability to identify the object in space. It receives the information from thalamus. 3B is mainly for the touch sensation. It is densely covered or connected to 1 and 2. It is mainly densely connected to 1 and 2. Then comes the area number 1. Area number 1 is mainly involved in the complex processes. If there is like some complex reactions you have to remember or anything, that time area number 1 comes in place. So then area number 2 is mainly for proprioception. As I have said the definition of proprioception, proprioception is ability to identify the object in space, is called as proprioception. You have seen the areas. Area number 3, 1, 2. In 3 there is 3A, 3B. 3A is for proprioception. 2 is also for proprioception. 1 is for complex processing. 3B is for touch sensation. So all these parts drains into different areas of the homunculus. So each will drain into different areas of the homunculus. Last but not the least, we'll see the homunculus structure. It is a topographic representation of the primary somatosensory or S1 area. So this is the structure of the homunculus. You can see the topographic representation of primary somatosensory area. This is the representation. It's not mandatory that you have to remember. This is the cerebral hemisphere, but it's better if you remember. So first you have your genitals. If there is human beings, you have your genitals. Then comes the then comes the toes of your leg. Then comes the foot to leg, leg to hips, hips to trunk. What does trunk mainly includes? The thorax, abdomen, pelvis, all this region. Then neck, head, shoulder, arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, hand, all your 5 fingers, little finger, ring finger, middle finger, index finger, thumb finger, all these finger comes. Then comes your eyes, nose, face, lips, teeth, gum, jaw, both your upper jaw and lower jaw, maxilla and mandible. Then comes your tongue, then comes your pharynx. So this structure or this topographic representation, like each part is able to identify each sensation of each parts. So this is called as the homunculus or the topographical representation, sensory homunculus. So that's it about this video. Hope you like this video. Please do like, share, subscribe. Thank you.